That's a lie, not true. Let's begin by giving some definitions. First, respecter of persons, someone who treats people according to their rank, status, or importance. Next, double standard, a rule or principle which is unfairly applied in different ways to different people or groups. That's weird, because he tells us not to have respect of persons. See these passages. So why would God do the opposite? That makes him a double standard hypocrite. He is not the respecter of persons. See these passages here. Now let's quickly touch on this phony baloney notion of plural plans of salvation in the dispensations. Look at this screenshot here. It's so stupid because God is changing his mind over and over again. By grace through faith plus nothing. Oh, now works are added. Now it's taken away. Now it's added again. Does God have Alzheimer's? Is he dyslexic? I mean, what's going on? God has no right, I repeat, no right to change his mind constantly and just switch up the game of salvation because he feels like it. He has no right to do so, because that would prove he's a hypocrite and also not consistent. And that would also violate Malachi 3:6, that he changes not. But on a quick side note for number 4, since Christ's ascension, salvation plan, faith and grace only, no works. You know, the church age, that's a term called by these hyper-dispensationalist heretics. It is claimed that in Acts 2, Israel was also given a different gospel message. Read Acts 2:38, for example. These dispensational false teachers will tell you this.
Well, God is dealing with Israel and giving them another chance to believe on Christ. To them only was the message preached to repent and be baptized for the remission of sins and to get the Holy Ghost. You see, the gospel is progressing in truth until Acts 15, when it is established that salvation is then and going forward by grace through faith only in Christ for both Jews and Gentiles.
How can the gospel be progressing in truth? What, they just didn't have it figured out? They had to debate about it and guess? I think, yeah, we still have to do works. Yeah, works, yeah, we can't figure it out. But then in Acts 15, when they all got together, they're all fighting amongst each other. And then it finally dawns on Peter, oh, yeah, it's only by grace now. I know I said in chapter 10 that he that worketh righteousness is accepted of him, but I was wrong, because I was just stupid, and, I was still intoxicated from the vision God sent me. Are you criticizing the Apostle Peter and calling him stupid? Is that what you think of Peter? You think he's a dumb idiot and he didn't know what he was talking about? And that goes the same for all these other false teaching hyper-dispensationalists. Do you think that the Apostle Peter was a dumb idiot? Is that what you think of him? Who are you to throw stones at Peter for what he said in Acts chapter 10? I mean, what authority do you have to say Peter was wrong in what he said regarding salvation? I mean, come on. That's quite ridiculous. Get off your high horse, you hyper-dispensationalists. You don't know the scripture like you say you do. And you're poisoning your congregations by teaching them this false gospel that we're saved by grace through faith in this dispensation without works. You're poisoning their minds, and you're teaching them this false doctrine of once saved, always saved, and teaching them to have a license to sin. When Paul clearly spoke against that. Romans 6-8. Read it. Just ask these hyper-dispensationalists to show you one scripture of proof for these different plans of salvation. They can't show you one passage. What heresy. God cannot change his principle of dealing with man. Malachi 3:6. He cannot tell one group, faith and grace only, but then tell another group, by faith and grace, and works are added. His method is always the same. Salvation has always been by grace through faith, proved and accompanied by works. It's a faith plus works system. If he made just one exception, just one, then he's guilty of being a respecter of persons and having double standards. Logical, scripture, fact. I guess these hyper-dispensationalists believe in a double-standard, inconsistent moron of a God. That's not the God of the Bible. You all are believing in the God of Peter Ruckman, Sam Gipp, Clarence Larkin, and everybody else who teaches that dispensational plans of salvation false doctrine. Quit putting your trust in man and trust in God and His Word. There are no multiple plans of salvation and different gospels in the dispensations.